This is my TED Talk presentation for Univ, and today I'll be speaking about leadership. My personal definition of it and other things involved in that. But I'd like to start off with my philosophy. No, scratch that. Before I start, let's get some music. Okay, so back to my views on leadership and things of that manner. I believe that my philosophy, my personal working definition, I feel like it is what allows people to get to the best of their abilities and really be who they want to be. A true leader to me will never inhibit growth. They will never prevent someone from being a leader as well. Because as a leader, you also need to be a follower and know when it is appropriate to let someone else step up and take the lead. Things that shape my leadership style are definitely my parents. I mean, realistically, they were the biggest leaders I've had in my life. I think what I've noticed the most is that my parents both knew that sometimes one had to step up, sometimes the other had to step down. And even if it was difficult for them as people and involving their pride, they always did it when it was necessary because they knew it was important. They knew that regardless of how they felt in that situation, something better may come out of letting someone else do something they're more qualified to take care of. And that's how I see it. As a leader, yes, you want others to be able to grow and you want to help them, but sometimes you got to take a step back and let someone else go forward. And I'd like to be a fair leader. Essentially, everything that I've said. Let people lead and know when to lead yourself. My influences, aside from my parents, I feel like the way I've influenced people has been very great. I used to work at a kids camp, and I will never forget this instance. There was one time that a kid came up to me, and we dropped him off, and he said, "Caesar, you're my brother." And I was like, "Thank you," you know what I mean? And he said that because during his time at the camp, I spent a lot of time with him making sure that he was on the right track and things of that manner. His brother came the following week, and he looked and he saw that I was there. He was shouting at his mom. He's like, "That's my brother, that's Caesar." And he was like, "No, Mom, you don't get it. He taught me how to not fight. He taught me to think and use my words." And that always resonated because someone really heeded my advice. They took it to heart, really were able to value from it. And that's why I want to be a leader. That is like the reason why leadership to me is leadership. You don't always do it for yourself. You do it for the betterment of everybody. I guess I can relate it back to my class. It's just like being the best person you can be. And there's a lot of things like that. I feel like my personality type, and even though like, yes, I can be extremely arrogant, I feel that sometimes I want to do what's the best. And the best may not always be what's best for me. And I feel like that's a very important thing. When I see people who may get annoyed at me, but ultimately are thankful, it just makes a lot better for me because I know that they're benefiting. For example, my friend, he was planning not to study tonight. And I went into his room and I was like, "Yo, you gotta go study." And even though he was annoyed at me in the moment, just a few minutes ago, he was like, "Yo, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you made me come and study because I've been really relaxed this week. And though relaxing is very important, I haven't been pushing myself academically to keep up with my finals." And I feel that me doing that kind of shows that, I try to influence people in a positive way, even if they may not see it in the moment. The values I have are honesty. I like to be united with people. I'm very hopeful and I'm empathetic. But I think the weakness for me as a person also lies in my empathy. Because at the end of the day, I'm a very emotional person. And sometimes I let my emotions get the best of me. I may not be able to function to the best of my ability because of all the emotions that I have. When I'm like leading someone or helping people out, I always try and look at things from different perspectives, and that's always been something that I've really tried to learn. I took psych in high school, and one thing that I always understood was there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathizing is being able to feel sorry for somebody, and empathizing is being able to understand them. And I just want to be able to understand people. I feel like that's why empathy is my biggest strength, because if I can empathize with somebody and do my best to understand what they're going through from my perspective, I can, even if I'm not leading them, pushing them in one direction, I can at least be there for moral support and ultimately benefit them or benefit myself or just help someone. I feel that empathy is like a very not valued characteristic. When people start to understand the value and how important it is to people, they can really change the way they live. My influences, my parents and stuff like that, they really have influenced my values. Because the way my parents are, they always try to understand each other. They always try to understand me and my younger brother. It's always made me want to understand everybody around me. That's the main point. That's why I have like such a strong feeling towards the concept of empathy and trying to understand it. So my value, like the biggest value, I'm gonna keep going back to this concept, empathy. The reason why empathy is so important to my idea of leadership is because if I'm empathetic, I can know when to let someone be a leader as well. And I can know that it's not right for me always to be a selfish leader, because sometimes you have to let someone else shine. So over these next 4, 8, 20, however many years left I will be learning, I just want to grow and I want to develop myself as an individual. And I feel like my leadership skills will help me continue to do that, because if I can understand where other people are coming from, then it might help me better understand where I'm coming from in the situation. Currently, things that I'm involved with to help my development are being an interest with the fraternity Lambda Alpha Upsilon. And I've gotten involved with them because I felt like growing academically, growing socially, and I just feel like the people in that organization will help me do so. I already have a strong bond with a few of the members and a few of the brothers, and I just hope that I can progress that and allow myself to get closer to everybody. I'm also a part of the rap club here at UConn. For me, it's very important. It allows me to express myself creatively, but also just to meet people from very different walks of life. Hip hop itself has no color, it has no form. So for me doing that, it allows me to meet people of different socioeconomic backgrounds or political or any background whatsoever, and it just gives me more perspective to look at everything. Because even if someone doesn't rap, the way that they speak in rap club gives me perspective. And if they do rap, I can see different ways that people rap, gives me different perspective, and even allows me to develop my skills as an artist, because once you're exposed to more talented people, it causes you to want to raise your levels. I actually plan to try and do an internship this summer, hopefully at the Manchester Town Hall. I have a friend who knows a few people there, so I'll see if he can pull some strings. Also, I feel like for continuing my development, I want to study way more next semester. I'm hoping that the classes that I'm taking will help me with that, but I think my study habits have been getting better as time goes on, and I feel like it'll just make things easier when I progress. I'm also planning to apply for a summer program as well, where I'll be going to a law school and just getting different perspectives. So my development is something that I want to be linear. And if not linear, I want it to be exponential. I just want to grow as a person, and I feel like I can do that through perseverance and hard work. Again, relating back to empathy. If I can understand myself and understand those around me, I can understand what I need to do, because I've seen what others have done in similar situations. So, in conclusion, leadership to me is not just a concept, it's a way of life. And everyone is a leader in a different way.